The Director General of National Sport Commission, Honorable Bukola Olopade, has announced a groundbreaking new policy that officially criminalizes age falsification in Nigeria sports, making the toughest stance the nation has ever taken against the widespread practice. The policy adopted at the Second National Council on Sport in Calabar introduces a strict legal, administrative, and sporting penalties targeting anyone involved in age manipulation. Athletes, coaches, officials, teams, academies, and even state delegation. Under the new regulation, any athlete found guilty will face 1. Immediate disqualification, strip of medal and honors, a ban of up to 2 years, harsher punishment for repeated offenders. But the crackdown does not stop with the athletes alone. Coaches, administrative officials, and team handlers who facilitate or benefit from age cheating will also face suspensions, fines, or bans. State delegation may face a disqualification from competition and sanction if they are found guilty of enabling the fraud. The National Sport Commission boss explained that the policy takes immediate effect across all national age grade competitions and will guide Nigeria's participation in the international tournament. Going forward, any team or federation that field overage players risk automatic sanction. Olopade said the new framework is designed to restore Nigeria's credibility in global sports, noting that the age cheating has damaged the country's reputation for decades in the world of sport. Kingsley, this should be a very applaudable move by the National Sport Commission boss. Because we talk about age cheating, I think it has become so rampant that it looks as though it's taking sport development backward in the country. So he said that this initiative takes immediate effect. If you are caught in age cheating, age falsification, whether you are an active actor in the field, whether you are an athlete or you are an official, anybody at all that is found wanting will face the full wrath of the law. You think this is the right way to go at this point?
Can you hear me?
Yes, definitely. I can hear you now. Better.
Okay. And let us see how this one, of course, will work. Because, in the past, there have been several means of trying to curb age cheating in sports down here in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, it doesn't work. At the end, there was a time they actually came up with the NIA thing. But at the end of the day, people still went ahead to do forgery of all of those things. And there have been a lot of glamour, for the National Sport Commission to get an MIRO scan machine to be able to detect the age of this athlete. But at the end of the day, I think what we heard was the fact that the machine is too expensive, that the federal government or the sport ministry can't get it at the moment. Now, coming up with this measure, I think is a very strict one. It's really, really a very strict one. This, of course, will go a long way to know that when you, of course, field an athlete that is above the age range of a particular competition, you will be sanctioned. At the end of the day, even the athlete, just like you read out there, a ban for 2 years. Your officials involved as well will also face punishment. And I think if this is taken seriously, all right, if it is taken seriously, they should just come out and tell us these are things that's going to happen. There should be people that will be on ground to check all of these things. All right, because if as it stands now, people might still find their way through to see how they can do one or two things if proper attention is not paid. All right, at this point in time. So for me, I think coming up with this measure, first of all, we should look at for me what would be the means that they will use in detecting the age of the athletes.
to know if this person is above the age range of this competition. Will it be through the NIN? Are we still going to use the NIN? Or probably there will be an MRO scan machine that will detect the age before, okay, this athlete is above the age range of this competition. You'll be banned for 2 years. The officials involved too will be banned. So we have to know what measures will be used to detect the age range of the athlete or becoming before you're not talking about banning the athlete, because that's the major thing. How to detect those athletes that are over age, in the competition first, before you now talk about banning them and also punishing the officials who brought in, those athletes at this point in time. And this has been on for a very, very long time, and we've not been able to find solution to this particular one. So I just hope that these measures, and with the National Sport Commission coming up at this point in time, they'll be able, of course, to curb the situation. Because, Mike, at the end of the day, it doesn't speak well for us. It doesn't speak well, for our athletes. Because when you say an athlete is 15 years, whereas that person is 20 years, so he or she
competing in a competition that is the age for athletes to compete is between, let's say, 10 to 15, and the person is 20 years competing, and the person will actually overshadow the other athletes because he or she is more energized or more probably experienced than the others. So at the end of the day, it doesn't bring balance, in the game. So I just hope that at this moment that National Sport Commission have taken upon themselves, they should be able to follow it religiously to make sure that, of course, the issue of ageism in our sports, comes to an end.
All right, we'll see how all of this will go, but then just like you listen carefully to what Kingsley said out there, this thing is not novelty, yes? Because this is not the first time we've been trying to curb age cheating in sports. We have used different means to try to diverse different means, the manual process, then the use of NIN. Yet, people still find their way through to, of course, do these shady activities that is taking our sports backward in terms of development. That is why you hear that a player is doing pretty well today. The next 2 years, you see that such player is no longer, competing at the highest level because he or she probably falsified his or her age, and it's not really helping our sports development. So the boss of the National Sport Commission is taking yet another pragmatic step, which it is not a novel. Yeah, yes, it is not novel. But then the question has been, or is, how can we be able to dictate the overage sportsmen and women if the technological equipment that should have been used for age detection is not available? How do we go about it? Because the manual usage has proven time and time again that it is not working at all. So we just hope that they can find a means to be able to sort this out.